Hey YouTube, how's it going today? I've got a couple skinning blades to look at today. One being the Razor-lite EDC by Outdoor Edge, and the other one being the Gerber Hunting Series Vital. We'll go ahead and get into them. Okay, so I went to Dunham's the other day, and I was just walking around just seeing what they had, and I, of course, went to the knife section. I don't know if you guys have seen some of our previous videos recently, but Aaron and I have been pretty obsessed with knives lately. So I went ahead and picked up both of these guys. I was actually going to just get the Razor-lite EDC, but I couldn't help myself, and I ended up getting the other one. I just wanted to see how each would perform, I guess, which one would be better. So we'll go ahead and be looking at the Razor-lite EDC first. Okay, so here's the Razor-lite. Like I said, this is by Outdoor Edge, and it is called EDC. And this on the end here, this is actually a scalpel blade of a certain type. I'm not sure. I've never seen one this large precisely. What's really cool about it, it came with 6 interchangeable blades. And all you have to do to take these blades out is click this button right here, and you can slide this out just like that. And I don't know if you guys can see the mechanism there. They said it's a patent pending, so I would assume it's more of an experimental type, but it works great. So I'll go ahead and slide this blade back in just like this, and it is very easy to do. You just push that button again. One of the other cool features about this is when you go to lock the knife, all you have to do is go like this. Obviously it's a lockback, but when you try and push that to disengage this blade to take it out, it will not come out unless it's completely open. That is the only time that it will come out. So this knife has the 6 blades, like I said. They are 4020 J2 Japanese stainless steel. And then one of the other cool features about this knife is the handle. I believe it's called Givery. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a mixture between glass and nylon. It's extremely light, and then it also has rubberized molding here you can see, and that's for some extra grip. So here's the second knife. This is the Gerber Vital. This also came with 60 blades. There's a number on there. It says 60 stainless. That's what these blades are. And these look more familiar like a scalpel blade. They're very sharp and they're very light as well. So the way to change the blades out of this knife, this button right here, this first one, you go ahead and click on that, and it pushes this. It's almost like a spring or just like a bent piece of metal. And what you do is you push down on this button right here, and then you slide this out, and it pops right out just like that. So compared to the Razor-lite EDC, this knife actually is a little heavier, it almost looks like it's smaller just because of the blade, but I think the overall length is a little bit longer. It has a rubberized outer coating on the handle, which gives you tremendous grip. Granted, I don't have wet hands right now, so I guess we'll see how that is. And then it also has these studs on the back for an extra, almost like a grip, I guess, to go ahead and put your hands on. And then it also has your index finger. You can put that there to make sure your finger doesn't slip up and hit the blade itself. So obviously both of these knives are scalpel blades, and they're both going to cut extremely well. So that's why instead of having paper, I'm going to go ahead and be using cardboard just to see how the thickness of this blade cuts versus the thickness of the Gerber Vital here. So we'll go ahead and start with the Razor-lite here. I'm just going to go ahead and try and cut. Really, it does take a little bit to do it. It's cutting flawlessly, but it almost seems like the blade is getting pinched on that just a little bit. There we go. Came through finally. Now we'll go ahead and look at the Vital. As you guys can see, this blade is much thinner because it doesn't have that mechanism that it needs to slide into, but it is a smaller blade. But then the bottom here, you can see it is sharp, but it has your mechanism to lock the blade in that kind of gets in the way here. So we'll go ahead and see how it cuts. We'll corner this one. much easier to cut. I'll go ahead and cut straight down just so we give them both equal tests. Much easier to cut like that. So we'll go over the pros and cons of the Vital first. Some of the pros to this Gerber in my eyes, one being that the blade is very thin, so it's going to be able to cut through stuff, say that has a lot of tension on it or a lot of pressure, to where on the sides you're not going to be able, or where you need, I guess, to not have thickness of a blade. Also, like I mentioned before, it has these studs, and that seems like it gives you pretty reasonable amount of grip. Your thumb especially, it really holds it on there. And then same with your index finger, this little finger loop, I'm not quite sure what to call that. And then the grip itself, it is very grippy. I have no doubt that this will help me hold the knife while I'm skinning something. So then some of the cons about this knife, my first one being that it is a fixed blade. This I'm not a big fan of. Let me see if I can find the sheath here. So right here you have the sheath, and all this does is slides right on top of this, just like that. See, it doesn't give the blade much strength, so if you are carrying this in your pocket or in your bag or something, say if you bend over weird, it could have the potential of breaking. And same with the mechanism. This button is still out in the open. I can push that button and it disengages the blade like that, which could be very dangerous if you're reaching into your bag for it or something else and you end up cutting yourself. Another con that I find is that the blade is very short. If you're trying to skin something, this might be a little harder to get into. Say if you're filleting a fish, bluegill is probably going to be anywhere from 4 to 5 inches wide, so it's going to be very tough to get underneath of that and then end up trying to skin the entire thing through. Okay, so now we'll go back to the Razorlite. Some of the pros on this, one of my favorite is actually, it looks like a legitimate blade on here. That's probably every bit of 3.5, 4 inches. Like I said before, I would much rather have a bigger blade for skinning bluegill, I guess, or a fish for that matter. And then same with bigger game, you're going to have more versatility on what you're doing with a bigger blade. One of the other cons I find, this is more of a safety feature. Like I said before, when you click this button to disengage the blade while you're putting the knife away in any other position than when it is completely locked out, it's not going to engage on you, which is awesome for safety reasons. One of the other things I like about the Razorlite is how light it is. I'll go ahead and find the specific weight on it right here, and it says it is 2.7 ounces, which is also 80 grams. It speaks for itself. I mean, this is extremely light. That handle is very lightweight, you can tell just by feeling it, and it's actually very sturdy. I'm going to go ahead and try pinching it here, and it's not moving too much. It's really solid. One of the things that I think they probably could have done differently is for your belt loop or for your pocket clip, I guess. They could have made that metal, but really I haven't had any issues with it. It seems like a very strong mixture between nylon and glass. The one and only con I have found with this knife is when you put it in your pocket to clip it, it's actually kind of backwards compared to most knives. Most knives are going to have your clip at the top here, so your knife is going to pull out of your pocket just like this. This one has it on the bottom, so you're sliding in like this. When you pull it out, it feels pretty natural to pull it out, but then when you go to put it back in, it's almost like you want to put it like this. So it's more or less me not being familiar with this type of system. So that's all I have for you guys today. I can't really do justice on telling you which one is better than the other, seeing that I just bought both of these and I haven't used them on anything other than the cardboard. This summer when we go ahead and do more of our hiking and camping and stuff, I will actually use them and show you guys while I'm using them. That way you can really get a feel for which one is going to perform better than the other in certain tasks and stuff like that. So let us know what you guys think. If you guys have one of these blades and you like it, go ahead and let us know. If you have both, let us know which one you like better and why. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.